Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in the most recent Curated bead box, the one for October 2023. It's called Seriously Sassy. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below to the unboxing video I did for this subscription in case you want to watch it, where I go into a little bit more detail about the beads that came in the box and all. The box is $20 a month, and that includes shipping in the United States. I have a coupon code. It's Teresa35, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below, along with a link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon will save you 35% off your first box if you sign up, so that would make your first box $13. In here I've got the 10mm purple spot marble style glass beads. And I've got some of them already connected together here. I'm going to make a wire wrapped chain up each side of the necklace. And in here I've got some of the 10mm purple crackle glass beads that came in the box. I've got some bead caps from my stash. I've got a couple of the purple crackle glass beads in here. This is going to be my focal part of my necklace. And I've got a ring here and some of the bead caps. I've got two of the 4mm purple glass beads that were in the box, and I've got a ball head pin. I've got some pieces of my 22 gauge German style wire here. These are about 3-inch pieces, except this one is a little bit longer. I cut it at about 4 inches. I'm going to use it at the focal area, and I'm going to be putting a couple extra beads. So I thought I might need a little bit extra wire there. Probably not, but I just cut it a little bit longer to be safe. In here I've got some findings. I've got a lobster clasp. I've got 3 of the 6mm jump rings that came in the box. I've got an 8mm jump ring from my stash. I've got a 4mm jump ring from my stash and a little leaf charm that I'm going to hang off the extender chain. I've got a little piece of chain here to use as an extender, and I'm going to hang the leaf off of that. And then I've got a couple of pieces of chain I'm going to put on the back. I'm going to be using my chain nose pliers, my tweezer pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers, the crimping pliers I use to tuck in the wires, the burrs that are left when I cut off wire, and my cutters. And I have my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wires in when I cut them off. I think that's everything. I'll put links to everything I can find links for in the description box below. So hold on, let me get some of my beads poured out here and I'll be back. Okay, I've got some of my beads out here, and I've got some of these already made and linked together. Of course, I'm going to add some to it. I'm going to have these beads on one side of my necklace and these beads on the other side of my necklace. I forgot when I was listing my materials, I got out 3 more of the jump rings that were in the box. I forgot. I'm going to connect both sides of my necklace to my ring here with jump rings, and I'll connect my focal to my ring with a jump ring. So I forgot I needed 3 more jump rings, as I usually always forget something. So I'm going to make a couple that go on this other side of the necklace here. I'm going to take a piece of my German style wire, and I'm going to take my pliers and go down about 1.5 inches or so to get over here where y'all can see me. Bend the wire over the tool at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers to the face of the table. Take the short piece of wire up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. Like that. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring my wire down a little bit here. I'm going to wrap the short piece of wire around the longer piece of wire about 3 times. I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. I can get a hold of it here. I'm going to take a bead cap and one of my beads and another bead cap. Of course, you don't have to use bead caps. I just like to use bead caps and spacers on everything and in everything. So then I'm going to take my pliers. I'm going to go to the very tip of the pliers. And bend over at a 90-degree angle. Take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Hold on tight. Take this part up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. Like that. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring my wire down. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Let me get that first wrap good and tight, close to the wire there. Now I'm just going to wrap till there's no more room to wrap. I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. I'll take my crimping pliers and I'm going to go into that part there at the end that has the half circle on each side and tuck in my little burrs that are left where I cut off the wire. And I usually wait till I get both sides of my loop, both loops on each side of my bead made before I do this, because it's easier for me to have that bead to brace against when I do this. If I don't, I usually end up mangling everything, so that's why I do that. Now I'm going to take another piece of my wire, take my pliers, go down about an inch or an inch and a half or so, bend over the tool at a 90-degree angle, take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me, bend the wire back until the loop is, or till it hits the tool. I've got my mind on something else that I think I forgot to tell y'all. I'll take this part up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. Take my pliers and open this loop a little bit. Take this one I've already made and put it on here. Close my loop back. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. I'm going to take the shorter piece of wire and wrap it around the longer piece of wire about 3 times. Take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. Take another bead cap, another bead, and another bead cap. Take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers, bend over at a 90-degree angle, round those pliers in the crook of the bend, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take this part up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead, take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop, bring my wire down a little bit, take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. my extra wire, take my crimping pliers, tuck in my little burrs, and that's the start of my other side of my necklace. Now I'm going to keep doing this until I finish both sides. And I think I've counted out 9 beads that I'm going to do on each side. And what I got my mind on when I was doing that, where I was distracted, I don't remember if I said I have a ball head pin in here for my focal area that I'm going to use when I get ready to make it. I couldn't remember if I mentioned that or not. But I'm going to keep going until I get both sides of my necklace made. And then when I come back, we'll make the focal and put it all together. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got both sides of my necklace done now. Now I'm going to make the focal part. So I've got a ball head pin. I'm going to take a bead cap, one of my crackle beads, and a bead cap. I'm just going to make a wrapped loop on top of this, just like I've been doing. I'm going to go to the tip of the pliers, bend at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. This part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. Take my chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Take the wire down a little bit. My other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. First wrap good and close there. Wrap till there's no more room to wrap. And take my cutters and cut my extra wire off. Take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burr. I'm going to take my last piece of German style wire, the one I cut a little bit longer. I'll go down about 1.5 inches, bend at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Bring the shorter piece up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. And I open this loop just a little bit. Thread on my little dangle I've made here. Close it back. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring my wire down a little bit. Wrap it around my longer piece of wire. About 3 times. Take my cutters. Cut off my extra wire. I'm going to take one of my 4mm beads. I can get it on here. And a bead cap. Another one of my purple crackle beads. And a bead cap. And another 4mm bead. Now I'm going to take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers, bend at a 90-degree angle, put around those pliers in the crook of the bend, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers to the face of the table, bring this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the beads. my bent down those pliers and hold on to my loop. Take my wire down a little bit. My other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. Take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burrs. So that's going to be my focal. Now I'm going to take both. Well, first I have to make attach this to my ring here. I'm going to take my pliers, one of my 6mm jump rings that came in the box. Open it up, put it on my ring, put my focal on here. Make sure to get my jump ring closed back really well. I'm having a hard time with this jump ring. It's not wanting to close for me. There it goes. Now I'm going to take 2 more of the jump rings that came in the box. Well, I had them right here, didn't I? I had them laying here, forgot. I'm going to open up one of them, put on one side of my necklace, put it on my ring, close my jump ring back up, I'm going to take another jump ring, open it up, put on the other side of my necklace, and put it on my ring, and drop it. About to drop it again, but I didn't. Close my jump ring back really well. So that's my necklace so far. So hold on and get my other findings and we'll finish it up. I'll be back. Okay, I've got the rest of my findings here now. I've got a couple of pieces of chain. These are about 2.5 inches long each. I don't even probably don't even need to add chain to it because it's pretty long, but y'all know me, I make long necklaces. So I'm going to put on one, open my jump ring and put on one piece of my chain and one side of my necklace. Close my jump ring back really well. I'm going to take another jump ring, open it up on my other side of, or my other piece of chain, and my other side of my necklace. Close it back up. Now I'm going to take another 6mm jump ring, open it up, on this side of my chain and my lobster clasp. Close it back up. Now I'm going to take an 8mm jump ring on this side of my chain, and my extender chain. It's probably about an inch of extender chain there. Close it up really well. I'm going to take my little 4mm jump ring, and I find it easier to handle these with my little tweezer pliers instead of those others. Open up my jump ring, put my little leaf on here, put it on my extender chain. Close it back up really well. So that's what I've got. For my necklace. So hold on, let me see if I can get it all together in one picture. It's pretty long, but I'll try. So hold on. Okay, there's my first necklace made with some of the contents of the most recent Curated bead box, the one called Seriously Sassy. Probably no surprise to you all that I started out with the purple beads. Like I said, in case if you're not a subscriber to the box and you decide you want to be, that coupon code will save you 35% off your first box. That's a really good coupon. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, hope y'all have a great day. Take care.